Alright guys, so for this one, this is the continuation of the hood. I got more of my supplies, which is a little driver that I have. You could put like many bits on this thing. You could put an attachment for a 1/4 inch, 3/8 or a 1/2 inch drive for a socket. So that counts as like a little mini impact. You could put drill bits on it, so you have a mini drill, and it's a driver also for screwdrivers or any type of bits. So pick one of these up from Harbor Freight. You would not regret it. I got to get the battery. I got the battery on the little hand blower. This is a Chicago Electric palm sander, DA sander. Super helpful. If you build up a lot of body filler, this takes it right off. And this thing was like $10, $12, $13. It was super cheap, and it actually sounds really quality too, and it feels really quality. I don't know how they sell these things so cheap. And this, the vents, and these are the rivets. Got these from Harbor Freight. I bought this a while back, and coming in handy. Well, actually I used them for another project, and I haven't really shown that. But it has a wrench somewhere. I don't know where the wrench is at. Oh no, it's missing. It goes right there. But it has 4 different diameter rivets, and you load that up right there and you're ready to go. So drill, rivets, and that. So let's see if we get that far. But for now, I'm gonna get the hood, and I'm going to start sanding it and making it look a little bit more smoother, taking off this paint and just making it overall like ready for primer. And then hopefully I can get that in primer after I sand it. I'm just gonna wipe it down with some water and a rag, let it dry, and some primer. And then at a later date, I'm gonna clean this extra nice and primer this, and that's if everything works out and I completely like it. So yeah, so I don't want to do as much now because it's still kind of up in the air with this project. But I already know flat black is not going to look that bad with the vent. But yeah, so right now I'm going to struggle my ass off. But I'm going to put the hood on the car. No, wait, actually, I'm going to put the hood on the floor, sand it on the floor, and then I'm going to primer it, and then I'm going to put it on the car, and then from there I'm going to mount up the vents. But yeah. Alright guys, so I've been working at this hood for not too long. I'm just gonna scuff this up. Well, I already did. I'm gonna scuff that up. But right here where the paint is failing, man, I'm gonna dub this the hood from hell, because every time I sand, it just chips away a little bit. So I can't really get like a nice feathered edge like this right here. So whenever I go, I'm just literally chipping it away. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I'm just gonna go here and get all this section right here and just try my best to feather this to like where it's actually bonded. Like, see this? It just doesn't stop. And primering over that is just gonna be a huge waste, because it's just gonna end up chipping anyways. So I'm gonna try and chip a little bit more. And then like this right here, this is just primer. I'm guessing like the factory primer or something, which is very chalky. So I'm just gonna end up sanding this, and then that's gonna be a solid foundation for primer. And then from the primer, I'm just gonna end up leaving it anyways until if I like it, I'll end up doing the complete body work, and then I'll actually end up paint matching it or I'll just put like a nicer coating on it instead of a primer so it just doesn't wear off with the elements. But right now I'm just trying to get the thing looking a little bit decent in a gray or flat black. But yeah, let's check this out. This is what I call super paint failure. That is not supposed to happen at all. It's like a little piece of paper. Check it out. See, so I just go under there, go all the way in. I actually found a good way, instead of going like this where it just breaks it, if I go at the angle like this, I get bigger chunks. So actually, not gonna lie, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up getting the whole hood and just taking it off to bare steel, and then I'm gonna have a nice mess to clean up. But this is actually super oddly satisfying, even though I'm in pain. But yeah, just gonna get this done. All right guys, so all done with the chipping away. This is as far as it goes right here, and there's no more like separation behind, like there's no more separation beyond this. So two things that sucks. There's body filler right there, and I'm not doing body work. So yeah, number one, that, and then number two, my freaking sanding disc, it no longer cuts. So I was able to do this, but it's not gonna feather out this edge because that thing's maybe like a 900 grit already, and I need at least an 80 grit to get through this. If that was a fresh 40 grit or 80 grit disc, I could have done this whole hood in under 5 minutes to get it down to bare metal. But yeah, and I already checked, and I don't have any ones that fit, and they're all too not that coarse. But yeah, so what I'm gonna basically do, I'm gonna leave this edge right here. I could always just go Harbor Freight, get a 40 grit disc set, put it on there, and bust out all of this, and then re-primer it. And then I'm just going to put some filler right there. And well, actually I'm gonna take out most of that filler on that side, put a skim over it, and then I'm just gonna 40 grit and then 80 grit over it. It's just, yeah, I could complete this hood pretty quickly if I had the right stuff, but right now I'm just trying to see how it's gonna look like. But yeah, so I'm gonna clean it up, and let's get this in primer. Guys, so there it is right there. Looks pretty messy because down here there's a lot of dust, so it looks all like muddy, but as soon as I get that over there, it's gonna look a lot better. Yeah, so look how like wrinkled this is. That's crazy. I didn't even know it was that bad. But then if you look at this side, it's really not that bad. But with the flat black or gray, you're not even gonna see that. You're just gonna see the outline of the chipping, and you're gonna see this. But yeah, I could always fix that later. So I'm gonna let this dry. Let's blow some paint on it and finally enjoy it. A nice flat color. Alright guys, so there it is right there, and yeah, it looks pretty dang bad all sanded down, but it's only gonna look better from here. I'm kind of disappointed about this, about that hard edge, but there's really nothing I can do right now. So I have this one, which is rust reformer, and I think this one just converts rust back to like metal, or I don't know what the hell it is. Instantly converts rust to a protected paintable surface. So yeah, so that's what it basically does. It just stops the rust. And this one's a darker color, and then this one is a dark gray primer. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of this one and a little bit of that one and see which one looks better. All right, so that's the first coat of this one, dark gray. Now I'm gonna go to the rust reformer. As this one dried, it got a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna try this one. This is the rust reformer, and I have almost a full can of this one. It's like probably 3/4, so I think this one would be best bet. Man, this thing sucks. All right, I gotta back away from this wall, but let me chill how this looks and come back. So I do like the rust reformer better. I swapped the tip from the primer, dark primer, to this one, to the rust reformer, and now I'm just gonna do the whole thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna come back and we'll see how it looks like. I don't have my tripod on me. I have to get another one because I used the one from inside my apartment, and then I need one for video, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, but I want to get like a little mini one, maybe one that goes to like this high, so I could just easily keep it in the car. Yeah. All right, guys, so that's one coat right there over everything, and yeah, I still have like some wet spots, and that looks pretty terrible, but this is just to get the, you know, the thing one color and not a blue, so when I pop it onto the car, it's not gonna look like super awkward. It's a nice color, but it just looks awful with the desert silver metallic. All right, guys, so that's the second and final coat. It has those tiger stripes, but I'm really not even gonna worry about it. It's primer anyways, so yeah, just gonna leave it there. Gonna chill inside my car, let it dry, and then let's pop it on and then see how it looks like. And then I'm gonna mock up the vents. I'm not gonna mock up this right here because there's something I gotta do. I gotta cut that the little ducting, and then I'm gonna mount it, and then I'm gonna like reattach it from the bottom, but I'm not gonna do that now. So I'm just gonna end up mocking up the vents. So yeah. All right, guys, so to be honest, it looks like absolute trash, but it's just mainly due to the tiger stripes and that right there, and that hard edge going all across. If I would have just had a sanding disc, sanded it properly without the tiger stripes, even if I had that still, it would look a lot better. But this does kind of look so bad, you know, compared to the regular hood. So yeah, it doesn't really fit up that good. And that one goes right there. And just I don't want to latch it down right now because it's not even bolted down. And just think of the Naca duct right there. And I kind of failed because it goes right into there. Well, there's really no way I could have had it because I already had this and I knew I couldn't set it there. But remember I was talking about the fuse box? There's the fuse box right there. And remember I told you I had it right next to it. It's right there. So I had my measurement nice there, but I didn't even know of the slave reservoir right there, so that sucks. I'm gonna keep it, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot shorter because I can't do anything about that. So the Naca duct is gonna go down and it's gonna cool down that, I guess. I don't know. But does a Naca duct work? Yes, I actually tested it with a box and a fan. I ran the fan going like this way and it forces the air in. So there's no doubt that the Naca duct does not work. NASCAR and a lot of touring car guys and everything, they don't use that for no reason. They are proven. But yeah, so alright guys, so I'm gonna end it right here. Next clip is gonna be me mounting these up, and then I'm just gonna wing it and mount this up, and most likely I'm gonna get the disc and some filler for this and some paint. So yeah, so disc, filler, paint, and mock these up, and yeah, it's gonna look nice. Well, hopefully. But right now it looks like absolute trash. But we just gotta see a little bit better. So give it time, we'll see. Alright guys, so I don't know where I left off, so I'm just gonna wing it on this one. But I went to Harbor Freight, got the hook and loop 60 grit. I was gonna get the 40 or the 80, but this just seems like the happy medium. This was on sale for $1.50 for pack of 4. So that's so dope. And one of these will do this whole hood, a door, 2 quarter panels. These things don't really waste unless you get them really clogged with some like wet primer. These things are very good. So there's the other vent. There's the other vent right there, or louver, and that's it already assembled. And this one goes in nicely. And this one doesn't. So my measurement was a little bit wrong. I'm like 2 or 3 millimeters off right here. And then you could tell that if I go like that, it's uneven, or like that, it's uneven. So it's kind of a lot of wiggle room, I guess you could try and say. But if I put my finger here and touch it against there and have this flush with that, I guess that's where I would want to be. And the same thing there. So that kind of looks a little bit nice. Oh yeah, so basically this is not sitting flush because it is too much material on one of these sides. I have to figure out exactly which side I'm gonna cut. Or actually it does kind of fit, because I just had to like mess with it a little bit more. Well yeah, that kind of fits, but I can't really adjust it. That's what sucks about this one. This one I could adjust, and I do kind of want to make it adjustable. Or I could just make this one fixed and adjust this one to match this one. But I'll see what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so before I do this, I'm going to sand down the hood all right there, and then I'm gonna sand down right here, and just to get this filler flat, because this is pretty wavy and they painted over some pretty wavy filler, and I don't know how people do that. I've seen it done right in front of my eyes. I've seen people do that where it will be like really wavy and they're just spraying it with their gun, and yeah, you have to like block. But in my case, I'm just gonna go with there, just buzz it around with the DA. But yeah, but whenever you deal with filler, you got to make sure your details are perfect before you put your base and clear on, because any mistake will show at the end. Like all the truth comes out in the end. But I'm not painting this hood. All I'm doing is primering. I do have like a little bit of space in between there where I could mess up and not have it as smooth and still get away with it, because you're not going to see a reflection anyways. So let me get started and start sanding, and then I'm going to get these to fit nicely, drill them in. Well, let's see how easy this actually sands out. Oh yeah, much better. Yeah, pretty nice. So I'm now gonna do the whole thing. It's not gonna take too long, and then I'm gonna move on to that side. All right, guys. So that's what I found underneath. It was a pretty big dent, and they just ended up. Damn, my hand is all sweaty in there. They just ended up kind of like drilling, and like that old-fashioned style with like popping it out, because under here you can't get under there. So like whatever dents here, you can't do anything, except they have those spot weld guns that you put the pins and you pull the pins up, and then you could grind it smooth, then put your filler. But these guys were pretty old school, and they used those dent pullers that you drill, and it has like a wood screw type. You go in and then you just pop it out. But yeah, this is what I didn't want to see. And the paint job was, it looked nice, but it failed on that side because it was just too freaking like the primer was failing. It was chalky. But then I seen this, and I seen the filler, but I didn't think it was gonna be like somebody's job like this. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put a little filler over this. I just want to feather this out and feather out right here. Well, I already did here, so now I'm gonna do right here because it looks like it's cracking. And yeah, you never want to put thick filler because it's gonna fail sooner or later. And especially a hood that it expands and contracts, expands and contracts. That's why you have this, and other types of paint failures, because hoods, you know, bake out in the sun. They get very hot from you know, the heat rays that come up from the engine, especially back here where your exhaust is at, the header. And then for a B series, it'll be right here. But yeah, so I'm gonna continue on this, then get my filler and do this as fast as possible, but not on camera. And then I already have this feathered out, that's ready for more primer, and then it's gonna be cutting it. All right, guys, so I have some 100-year-old body filler. I just put the filler over. I felt around to exactly where it needs, and I just scribed the perimeter, and that's exactly what it needs right there. And right here, fortunately, this right here, this strip has no body filler, so I could match this to that to this and know that this is straight and the dent is here. Because sometimes for a hood like this, which would be pretty dang difficult to fix, is if everything got caved in and you gotta build this edge with filler or push it out or something with you know, your body weight or something, or just like a rubber mallet. But that's not the case, so this edge is actually factory. So yeah, so guys, so that's the second coat right there. I'm gonna just buzz right over this, and then actually what I'm gonna end up doing is putting a coat of glazing putty over the whole thing. The glazing putty is not like Bondo. Bondo is to build up your surface. Glazing putty, it's more, how could I say it? It's more softer. It sends more smoother and less coarse. And so basically, if you have like little imperfections or anywhere around or pinholes, you put glazing putty over and you just barely do one pass and it just melts away, and the glazing putty fills in the imperfections and it's basically gone. So yeah, so I really like glazing putty to finish little jobs like this. And yeah, so like since I'm trying to like make this hood look a little bit nice, I just might as well go through the extra steps just to make it, you know, look that much better in this section. But if I were to do this again, I would honestly get a nicer hood and just be done with it already. Just put the vents and Naca Duct flat black, and yeah, but this is definitely interesting and I really don't mind. But yeah, so it's just you know, a few hours of extra work, but it's all good at the end of the day. And then if anything, this thing just gets, you know, the vents get taken out, the hood gets thrown away, and there's really nothing, you know, to be stuck around as far as having this on the car. But yeah, so that's what I like about it, that this is completely reversible. So yeah, so I'm gonna sand this down, and then I'm gonna add the glazing putty, and then I'm gonna try and get some primer on this ASAP just to make this look nice, and then I'm gonna get some primer on that. But before all that, I'm gonna give it a nice little wipe down. But yeah, all right guys, so there it is right there, completely smooth, repaired. There's one little issue right here. I'm not even worried about it, but everything is nice and smooth. And I actually kind of surprised myself because this is way better than I thought it would turn out. I gave the whole thing a quick little sanding, especially right here where the nozzle messed up. But if you could feel this, it's buttery smooth. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm going to give it a quick washing right there, and then let it dry. And then I'm gonna pop more primer on it to fill in this right here. And I'm gonna do something that I might regret, but I think I'm just gonna do it anyways. But I have this dark gray primer, and then I've been using this rust reformer, which is, this is a more of a flat black. But I also have like 4 of these cans from when I did the CRX, and I was going to paint it with a an enamel smoke gray. This one's gloss charcoal gray. And so I'm probably gonna end up using this, but the only thing that's gonna kind of suck is that whenever you paint over primer, this stuff loves to go inside and like absorb, the primer absorbs it, and you can get a lot of blotchiness with this. And yeah, that's the reason why I prefer rolling it, because when you roll it, you have one thick coat. Your first coat's thick, and then when you go and roll it again, you have 2 thick coats. Roll it a 3rd time, the final time, and it's just basically smooth, you know, glossy enamel, where this likes to actually absorb, and you don't really have a lot of paint to work with here, unlike you know, an actual pint of concentrated, you know, pure paint, instead of how many ounces? 12 ounces of, you know, paint right here. So I'm gonna just try maybe a little spot and see how it looks like. But if anything, I'm just going to use the rest of this. Oh yeah. All right guys, so just got done cleaning it up and it's looking a lot better. I'm gonna wait till it fully dries, because I just used that wheel cleaner. It's like a mild acid, or actually a pretty strong acid, and it does take off any type of you know, oil or debris. So I'm going to end up painting it with this, the gloss charcoal gray, because that is not a bad combination. that would actually look, you know, kind of subtle compared to like, you know, like a flat black. And then if that doesn't work out, as long as I have the thing covered and protected in one color, I could always go over that with this the trim black. And this has, I don't know how the coverage, I don't know how the coverage is with this, but I have a lot more, a huge can of SEM, and this has a very, very good matte finish. So yeah, that's just what I'm gonna end up doing. And yeah, so you're not gonna see, yeah, so basically I'm going to start primering it in a little while, and then the next clip you see, it's going to be at another day or another few days, and that's when I'm going to start painting it, because it's already been over 3 hours and I am done. But yeah.